Hi everyone, it's Mike here, Matt's dad, after a 6-month sabbatical of non-videos, so let's see how we go with my ultimate team for this year. Right, starting in goal. I hate doing this, I've gone for a Man United player, De Gea. You can talk about all the great goalies of the past and everything else like Gordon Banks and Lev Yashin, but De Gea gets everything in the way of every shot. You'll find he saves as many with his feet and his head as he does with his hands. Now Matt, you remember when he first came to play for United, he couldn't catch a ball for the life of him, could he? But now, he's just brilliant. Hate to say it, I think he gives United an extra 10 points every season, so he has to be in there ahead of Gordon Banks and Lev Yashin, who I might have picked many years ago. Plus his distribution. To be a goalie now, you can't pick the ball up, you've got to distribute it. Totally different game to when I was a lad, which I just can't remember that far back. Right back. Going back in time again, Argentinian, Zanetti, great player, been there roundabout for years, is one of my more recent players here, so delighted with him to get him into the team. Left back, Paolo Maldini. I don't think I've ever seen a better left back. He is what you call a true defender. Not as great going forward as some, but I think you've got to pick at least one Italian defender. They've got the art of defending, off to an art actually. So, centre backs. Going back many years, a lot of you probably never heard of him. Bobby Moore. He was so cool and collected, a bit like Van Dijk, a bit like Alan Hansen. Bring the ball out of defence. He started that sort of way of playing. He was like a midfielder. He was just so cool. And he hardly ever did a slide tackle. He'd come off on his shorts and still be clean. His mum never had to wash them for him. Shut up you lot. The other centre back, I've gone for the first one of the current stock still playing, and it's Ramos. Hate him after what he did in the European Champions League final, but I think he's great going forward, scores plenty of goals, and his record speaks for itself. So he's in at centre-back alongside Bobby Moore. He will give it a bit of steel as well. Bobby Moore was very cultured. Ramos will cover for him and take players out if needed. Just in front of them, protecting the defence, I go for Lothar Matthäus. Many caps for Germany. He played just in front of the defence, but he had a great vision as well. He could pick out a pass through to the forwards. Many goals scored off his calculated passes. So he's in there defending the defence. Two lying back in midfield, two of the greatest players I've ever seen. One is from many years ago, and he still pains me to remember it, when Ajax came on the scene. No one knew anything about them, but they invented total football, where all of the players could play any position, and the best at that in the whole team was Johan Cruyff. Who else has got a turn named after them? Yeah, the old Cruyff turn. I remember seeing that when it was done live. And I thought, what's he doing there? A little trick. And it was wonderful. Everyone's got the tricks now, but he started that trick. So he's in there, one of the most cultured players I've ever seen. And next to him, I'd have probably my favourite player of all time now, taking over from Suarez, who can't even get into this team, is Messi. Now, I know Maradona recently has come out and said that he doesn't think Messi is anywhere near as good as he was, doesn't he? Did you read that? I thought that was awful. Okay, he hasn't done it for Argentina. They've not won any World Cups with him in it or wherever else. But to watch him play, I think he's one of the few I'd pay 70 quid for to go and watch now. So you can take me if you want, Matt.
Maybe.
Yeah. Right. So Messi would have to be in there alongside
Messi,
Cruyff.
right centre mid, or in that formation?
Yes, right centre mid, yeah. Looking over there, yeah, that'll do nicely. And I've just mentioned the other one, another Argentinian. I just realised we've got 3 Argentinians in this team. It'd have to be Maradona. One of them, he's not a person you have to like, but to see the way he plays football.
Which he played for there as well?
Oh yeah, he went through, I can remember him, Argentinos Juniors, don't quite remember him there. Brought over to FC Barcelona. I remember one of the first games he had for there was when the beast Goycochea took him out. And I think he may have broken his leg, but he was out for about 6 months. So the Barcelona fans have never forgiven Goycochea for that. But yeah, his record once again speaks for itself, and that goal against England in the World Cup finals, what a pain. One of them where he handled it in, but the other one, beating 5 players, slotting it in, majestic. And in front of him, There's only well, there's probably three you could pick here, really, all-time greats. It's Ronaldo, but which one? It has to be, is it known these days, Matt, as CR7, Cristiano? Yeah, I nearly said CR9, but I don't know who he is. But yeah, CR7, his brother. I think he plays brilliantly. And we're off to go and see his statue, one of the great ones in Funchal in Madeira soon. So that'll be fun, the one he hates, doesn't he? Yeah, so Ronaldo's got to be in there. Yeah, at the expense, to be honest, of the older Ronaldo, the old Brazilian Ronaldo, who just about edged out. And my final forward would have to be PELE, who I think you put something out yesterday, Matt. Was it his birthday?
Yeah, happy birthday.
He's 123, isn't he?
Do you know what his full name is?
Edison Arantes de Nascimento?
You know what, I'll give you that.
Yeah, give me that. Yeah. In other words, I got something slightly wrong and pronunciation wrong, but yeah, I'm getting there, thank you. I'll stick with PELE, who is probably, him and Messi are the two greatest players I've ever seen.
Have you seen his goal record there?
It was over 1,000 goals, wasn't it?
3 goals in 6 games.
Yeah, I think in total though, didn't he get over 1,000? I'm sure he did. Yeah, but he's got to be the best forward of all time. But his vision, even years gone by, he'd slot into any team now. And happy birthday for yesterday, PELE. Now for the bench, I'm going to pick just current players for this. So in goal, I'd have Loris and Lloris, yeah, as opposed to Doris, who he rhymes with, yeah. So Lloris of Tottenham. In goal, yeah. Yeah, interesting, but I think he's really improved in some of the saves he did over the weekend. Absolutely brilliant. Another very controversial, but this is to even out having a Man United player in there. So I've gone for Van Dijk, who I think is going to be one of the best defenders of all time. You can see him doing what Alan Hansen used to do, bringing the ball out from defence. And now, to be honest, Liverpool's defence is stronger than its attack at the moment, isn't it? We're just not scoring the goals, or we're still winning or not losing. But Van Dijk, I think, has so stabilised that defence with his calming influence. I think he's brilliant. Players I would have loved to have put in, but they just have to go on the bench. De Bruyne, just back from injury, played well last night at Shakhtar Donetsk. Kante, who I was torn between him and Mateus, who would fit in to the all-time great team. A lot of people think Kante, well, he's only recent. Yeah, he's won the league with Leicester and Chelsea, but he makes the team tick. He gets in the way of everything, taking the ball off everyone and creating stuff all the way through. One you've got to have in now, and I think now he's in the top 5 players in the world currently, is Eden Hazard. He's just playing absolutely superbly well for Chelsea, which is a bit of a pain because they're hot on our heels. But I think if he gets injured, Chelsea will struggle. They've got nothing else up front. So let's hope I won't say let's hope he gets injured. That's unfair. Yeah. So next to him, I would have Modric on the bench. Player of the year. I always look at him and think he's so slight and he can get knocked off the ball, but he hasn't. He's just got superb balance, same as Hazard. And it's just great to watch. Yeah, I was amazed really how well he played in both the World Cup and in the Champions League final, which was a pain again. Probably man of the match there, I think, yeah. Up front, yeah, I think I'd have 2 more, and it's Sergio Aguero, probably ahead of Harry Kane. I just love watching Aguero play. He can just hit the ball with either foot from anywhere. You think he's not going to hit it from there, and he does, and it flies into the net. But obviously, to make it 2-1 for Liverpool against Man United in terms of players, Mo Salah's got to be there. After the season last year, he's got to fit in. Unfortunately, he's not been doing so well this year, but I'm sure it'll come good tonight against Red Star, where my forecast is a 4-0 win. And that's about it. Thanks, Matt, for inviting me to come and have a chat again. Yeah. And hopefully you'll like this. Give it a thumbs up if you don't mind. Matt's always happy with them. And I'll see you soon.
So guys, there is my dad's ultimate team thought in the comments below. Do you disagree with the fact he chose Messi centre mid and he's gone with Maradona at cam? Cruyff left centre mid as well. That is a very debatable one as he's more of a centre forward. But anyway, he's gone with those players as his selection. Would you have chosen the likes of Roberto Carlos over Maldini? Let me know in the comments down below. Thoughts on the team overall? I think it's a very stacked team. Obviously, incredible squad from past and present players. De Gea, Moore, Matthias, Ramos, Messi. It's a ridiculously stacked team. Let me know though how you'd improve this squad for your ultimate team, and I'll see you guys later.